What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to That Sounds Terrible. Today's episode, we talk a little bit more on the Grimoire, and we'll do some comparisons to some other guitars that I own. Let's also talk about the new pickups. So I finally decided to put in the new set, and I went with the EMG James Hetfield signature set with the satin gold and the black pole pieces, and I think it just looks absolutely gorgeous. But it's the one pair of active pickups that I actually like. I have an all black set. I had them in my V-Blade for a long time, and I started venturing out into more passives, but decided to go with those in here. It just works out for me. So that's what we went with. So let's do a little quick playthrough, and then we'll come back and we'll do some discussions, and we'll talk about some more things that maybe I missed in my last video. But let's talk about those fit and finish qualities. We'll come back. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, so in my last video we talked about some blemishes with the guitar. Nothing serious. Again, it's just small things. Tool marks. That's something that you will always have on any custom built guitar. Any guitar you buy that has been hand done in any shape or way is going to have tool marks. All right, I've got several guitars that are $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, and they all have it. All of those that were hand touched by some type of luthier has tool marks, and this being one of them, right? So Royce has been in it about a year, year and a half, I believe. So the tool marks that you saw, along the nut here, down here along the pickup, the splintering of the wood from the CNC where, probably tore it out during the cutting. Just small stuff like that. It's not a big deal. It's really not. And for example, I'll show you. I'll throw some pictures up if I remember to take them. But we'll talk about the different brands. So we'll just go with this one first. So it's a 2021 Gibson Les Paul. It's a tribute. All right, this is what, $1,500, $1,600, somewhere around that. There's tool marks all over this thing. Now Gibson is notorious for having a spotty QC. There's excess glue along the neck where it sets into the joint, especially along the heel. The taping when they were painting is just bad. There's overspray everywhere. It was all over the neck. You can kind of see how they wiped it down, which is kind of cool because it adds to the grain character on the neck, I think. But again, it's not something I really care about. It's a character to me. Now, I will say on this particular one here that I got, the frets are pretty good up until about here. Then there's a little bit of fret sprout. And then from about here all the way down, there's absolutely no fret job done. Like, there's burrs. They're fucking fret sprout. I mean, it's fucking terrible QC. Now, from what I understand, Gibson also plucks their guitars. And if that's the case, probably can't even hear it. But I got a high spot on my first and second fret on the G string. So if it got plucked and it was done by hand, the fret job is fucking terrible, right? So that's one guitar. That's $1,500. We'll talk about my PRS, my CE. This is also another $1,500, $2,000 guitar. Tool marks. Along the fretboard here, you can see where it's got dents in it. You can see some of the glue where it was missed on the sanding when they did the fretboard. There's fucking dried super glue on it. You know, there's an impurity in the I don't know what kind of finish this is. It's almost like a poly finish. It's not really a poly finish, but there's something in the poly. Right here, a little white blob. I always thought it was a chip, but it's not, man. It's completely smooth. You know, so some more impurities. Now, what I will do is we'll talk about this. This is my PRS S2. So this is $2,000, $2,200. And there's very, very minimal flaws that you can see. And the reason I say that you can see, there is some tool marks along the binding here. I should have some pictures I'll throw up if I remember to take them. But what you don't see is because everything is painted. And when you paint a guitar, you hide those impurities. You hide those flaws. So is this a better guitar because you can't see it and because of the name on the headstock? I mean, this is built in America, right? It's a USA made S2. So it's still done by hand at PRS in Maryland. Just like the CE was, right? But the CE is cheaper because it's a bolt-on. Is that any different than a guitar that was done by a guy in Colorado? I mean, they're all hand done. There's going to be impurities. And it is what it is. It's okay. When stuff like that happens. So it's not a big deal. I'm sure that freaks out some people, just kind of throwing them up there like that. But anyways, it is what it is, right? I enjoy all of my guitars. This one here, it's a $800 PRS. Now, to be fair, I have beat the absolute shit out of this guitar. You know, I got plugs in here from the extra holes. Of course, this is a veneer. It's hard poly. I sanded the neck. You know, I like satin necks, so I scratch sprayed the crap out of that. But even this thing's got some tool marks. Indonesian made. It's not a big deal. The nut on this one was cut a little funny, so I had to sand that down. But I mean, all guitars have them. So don't think of what I showed you in the previous video as a flaw and to stay away, because it's not. It shows character. I mean, like I said, it doesn't bother me a bit. I enjoy all of them. Every guitar I got has got some kind of tool mark from where a luthier at some point has put their hands on it and adjusted it or tweaked it or finished it and did the QC on it. So anyways, that's just kind of my little rant on that. I'm going to go back to playing the Grimoire. Absolutely fucking love this guitar, you guys. And it just looks good, doesn't it? Anyways, tell me what you guys think. It's kind of a short video. Like I said, it's more of a rant than anything. But, I don't know. Some of the messages I got just kind of set me off. Thanks again to Royce. Did a phenomenal job, dude. You're definitely going places. And I can't wait to see the build quality on the Reaper, because we're definitely going head to head. It's going to happen. All right, you guys. Tell me what you think. We'll catch you on the next one.